Okay, hi everyone. So the video today is all about the Teams functionality in Payroll Control Center. And so you've never had this in a real instance, but what I've done is I've created a non-Teams instance and a Teams instance here. And so just to compare the difference. And so I have another video that shows more of the setup part of it, but this video is going to talk about more like what it looks like after it's set up. And so this is our traditional process where we have alerts. And if you look at it, we can look at this by who's it assigned to or by policy. So in this case, I'll look at this by policy. I can drill into this. And then per alert, what I can do is I can assign this as a default processor to an individual. So I'm saying, hey, SF admin is going to be always looking at this specific alert. Whereas if we're using Teams functionality, then this is going to look a little bit differently, right? And so I'm going to come over here, and then I have basically the same data set here and what I'm looking at. But what I'm going to take a look at is instead of assigning it to an individual, I'm going to assign it to a specific team. So right away you see it looks different. You have this processing, you can see what this looks like. But when I click into this, now I have this more visual overview. And so I can say, okay, here are the people on my team. I can deactivate them. Here's my team lead, which is the user I'm logged in with as well. And I also have this legend over here. So you have a visual of like, okay, this is kind of what's going on with this folder of alerts. And so I did show this in one of my other videos, but the way I've kind of divvied this work up is based upon the folder. So that's where we have this manage team application, which I did show in the other video. And so this is where I've created my teams. So I have a Canada specific team. And the criteria of this is this folder of alerts is all sent to this team, and then here are the members of this team. And then I'm going to show actually the team lead role here in a second as well. So I have these two teams. The other one is this global one, and you can see that this is the other folder of alerts. And so we see that over here. I have one group for the Canada specific alerts and the other one for global. Keep in mind you can set this up any number of ways. It could be location based, it could be based upon hourly employees versus salaried. So you can set this up how it needs to be. So I've seen people do this based upon like shared service centers or type of employees, or you can just create the folder structure in the way that it makes sense there as well. And so that's kind of what this looks like. And so the idea is now we have these alerts. They're assigned to my two teams automatically, and then the individuals on this team can then go and work on these. So the way that that works is if I'm an individual on this team, I can still come to the My Alerts. And then when you don't have anything assigned to you, you can see I have this My Work List without alerts. And I can see, hey, there's 54 out there that have not been assigned. My user ID happens to be assigned to both of these. So I can click into one of them. And then I can go to not assigned. And then I can actually take a look at all of them and claim the ones I want to work on. The big thing here is if you're not a team lead, then you have no visibility into what other people are working on. So I won't see that, hey, Bob on my team is working on this or Jane is working on that. I will really only be able to see the ones that are not assigned and the ones that I'm actively working on. So I can come here, take this one and kind of claim it as my own. But if you do have the team lead role, which is established here and says, hey, for this particular team, this is a team lead, then what you actually have access to is an entire application. It's called My Teams. And this will give you visibility into the overview of the team and who's working on what in the team. And so this, the way it looks like is you'll see, okay, here are my two teams. I happen to be a team lead for both. If I wasn't, then I would only see the one in which I am a team lead for. But if I click into this, what you'll see is now I will be able to get the visibility of, hey, who's working on what for these 54 alerts that I have. And then specifically look at things like what's still outstanding and kind of get an overview of the things that my team, as the team lead, is able to see. So it looks similar to the other UI where I have some visibility into this, but then I can even click specifically into this and see, okay, these ones are not assigned. So it actually gives you a further level of drill down. You'll be able to get an overview of completed or resolved or open. I can take a look at it by not assigned and say, okay, what's going on here? And I can even look at it by processor as well, right? And so in this case, only SF admin has one assigned to them, and I know my other people probably need to get working on them as well. And then I do have the ability to filter things as well. I have this team assignment button, so I can deactivate specific people. And so if someone goes out on leave or things like that, as the team lead, I have the ability to kind of action that and take a look at it. And so that's the functionality we have here. And as you get closer to completing the period, that's when you want to see these numbers kind of going down and getting closer to zero as well. And so I do also have the ability to enter notes in specific places, and that'll be tracked on the audit log as well. And so, yep. All right, well, let me know if you have any questions, and thanks for watching.